This is the Fujifilm XE4. It is a camera that I lusted after, and after a year and a half of shooting with Fujifilm cameras, I finally managed to get my hands on one. I've paired it here with the XF35mm f1.4, which is a stalwart of the Fujifilm lens lineup. If you've been following this channel for any amount of time, then you will know that I've been using the Fujifilm X-S10 ever since entering the Fujifilm ecosystem. That camera was amazing, served me really well, and in many ways was the ideal entry point into this camera brand. However, a couple of weeks ago, I swapped it out for the Fujifilm XE4. I will do a full video talking exactly about why I swapped it out, but for now I want to talk about my first impressions of this camera while I take you along for a walk around Apgujeong in Gangnam, Seoul. I first picked up the XE4 about 1.5 years ago, actually when I was shopping for Fujifilm cameras, and at the time it felt distinctly foreign to me. I really felt completely lost. It was such an unfamiliar design, but since then, since getting into the ecosystem, I've had a change of heart. And while the XS10 was the right pick for me at the time, I never really felt that it was the right all-round camera for everyday use, as an everyday carry camera, shall I say. The XS10, has a really ergonomically fantastic body, but I just feel like it lacked some of the signature Fujifilm touches that I think add a certain charm to their cameras. I'm not going to go too much into detail about the specs of the XE4. I might put them up on the screen here, but essentially, the XE4 is really an entry to mid-range mirrorless camera in the X series that still packs a lot of the features that you get in the higher end Fujifilm cameras, and it's such a really nice package. It's compact, it's got this beautiful retro body at a decent price point, especially if you've managed to get it before the Fujifilm prices went up. So let's talk a bit about this lens, and naturally with a new camera has come the hunt for a lens which complements the body. I ummed and ahed about which lens to go for, but eventually I picked up the 35mm f1.4 on loan from Fujifilm for a couple of days, and to say I'm in love is an understatement. It's been a while since I've shot with 35mm on crop sensor, and that's about a 50mm full frame equivalent, and I just feel like it's such a purposeful, considered focal length, especially compared to the 23, which is a fair bit wider. I feel like you really are forced to think about your compositions a lot more when you're shooting with the 35 on this camera. Optically, this lens is simply gorgeous. I love that it's so fast as well. I didn't really have that many issues with focusing. I found focusing, although it was a little bit noisy, to be relatively fast and responsive. And then again, there's just the visual and handling aspect as well, and it just pairs so beautifully with this camera. This is really a dream combo, and I'll be doing everything in my power to get my hands on my own copy as soon as I can. today's recipe is one that I call hard acros, and it's based on another photographer's recipe, a photographer called Mitchell Lensink. I think I remember using his acros recipe last year when I was in Thailand for shooting a Muay Thai tournament indoors, and I needed a black and white recipe with just the right amount of contrast and tonal hardness, and I find that acros, it's just super versatile, especially on days like today when the light conditions are changeable. So I hope this little street photography walk around Apgujeong has given you a bit of insight into what it's like to shoot with this setup, the Fujifilm XE4 and the XF35mm f1.4. This truly is a street photography dream setup. I absolutely love the results that I'm getting from this, and I think there's something to be said about cameras that make you want to go out and shoot, forcing you to practice and getting better at your craft. And this is definitely a setup that I am manifesting for myself as I build out this new little kit of mine. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to hit like and subscribe. Keep following for more street photography videos from Seoul, South Korea. My name is Stuart. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.